All right, let's dive into something that I think is going to completely change the way you look at your dog, and maybe even how you walk through your own front door from now on.
It's a question that pretty much every single dog owner on the planet feels like they already know the answer to. But what if I told you that the answer we've all been so sure about is just plain wrong?
I mean, you know the scene, right? You get home from a long day, you open that door, and there it is. The trash can is knocked over, a pillow has exploded, and then you see your dog. And they give you the look. Oh yeah, the ears go down. You get those big, sad puppy dog eyes. The tail gets tucked so far between their legs it basically disappears. And they do that slow, low-to-the-ground walk of shame right towards you. And in that moment, I think every single one of us has the exact same thought. We look at them, we see the evidence, and we say, oh, he knows. He knows exactly what he did, and he feels awful about it. Well, here's the big twist. He doesn't. He has absolutely no idea what you're so upset about. And really, understanding why is the key to this whole thing. So, to really figure this out, we have to talk about this really clever experiment that decided to get to the bottom of the guilty look once and for all. So it's 2009, and a researcher at Barnard College named Alexandra Horowitz gets really curious. She sees how totally convinced we all are about our dogs feeling guilty, and she comes up with this brilliant way to actually test it.
The setup was just genius. An owner leaves the room. A dog is either given a forbidden treat or they're not. But here's the crucial part. The researcher then lies to some of the owners. They tell an owner their dog was guilty even when it was innocent, or that it was innocent when it was actually guilty. This meant the owner's reaction had nothing to do with what the dog actually did, just what the owner believed it did.
So the big question is, who gave the guiltiest look? Was it the dogs who actually broke the rules and ate the treat? Or was something else going on entirely? Well, the results were, they weren't just surprising. They completely flipped our whole understanding of what's going on in our dogs' heads.
Here's the first bombshell. The study found that the guilty look had absolutely zero connection to whether the dog had actually done anything wrong. It just didn't matter.
And get this, because this is the real kicker. The dogs who looked the most guilty, the ones with the saddest eyes and the droopiest ears, were simply the ones whose owners were scolding them, even if they were totally innocent. So a perfectly well-behaved dog who got an earful from its owner looked way more guilty than a dog who actually ate the treat but didn't get scolded. So what does this all mean? It means your dog isn't sitting there reflecting on its past choices. No, it's reacting to what's happening in this exact moment. It's reading your body language, your angry tone of voice. It's reading you. Okay, so if it's not guilt, then what is it? What is actually going on inside their heads when they give us that look? Let's try and see this from their perspective. What we're actually seeing is something that animal behaviorists call appeasement behavior. It's this deep, instinctual set of signals that dogs use for one reason: to calm a tense situation down. It's basically their way of saying, hey, your anger is really scaring me. I'm no threat to you. Please, please calm down. I think this slide just nails it. We think they're communicating this really complex human idea like, I'm sorry I chewed the shoe. I feel bad about my poor decision. But what they're actually trying to say is so much simpler and more immediate. It's just, I see that you're angry. Your anger is making me anxious. Please stop being angry. I love you. And you got to think about it from their point of view. For a dog to feel real guilt, they'd have to connect your anger right now with something they did, maybe an hour ago or 5 hours ago? Their brains just aren't wired for that kind of abstract thinking over time. To them, you just walked in the door and, for no reason at all, you got mad. And this is where it gets kind of heartbreaking, because it creates this really vicious cycle. You come home, you see the mess, and you immediately get tense. Your dog picks up on your tension and starts offering those appeasement signals. Then you mistake those signals for an admission of guilt, which just makes you more certain that you're right to be angry. And over time, what does that teach your dog? It teaches them that you coming home is a scary, unpredictable event. So what do we do with all this? How can we use this amazing insight to build an even better, stronger relationship with our dogs? Well, the first thing we have to accept is that punishing a dog long after the crime was committed, it just doesn't work. It is completely ineffective. It's not going to teach them to not chew the shoe next time. All that scolding actually teaches them is that you, the center of their entire universe, can suddenly become a source of fear and anxiety for reasons they will never, ever understand.
The real solution here isn't about punishment at all. It's about prevention. And yeah, it's the stuff that might seem a little boring, but it's what really works. Managing their environment with things like crate training, making sure they get plenty of exercise, giving them engaging toys, and stimulating their minds. I think this is such a powerful way to put it. That look you're seeing isn't remorse, it's fear. They're not sorry for what's already done. They are deeply, profoundly worried about what you are about to do, right now.
So I'll leave you with this to think about. The next time you come home and find a mess, maybe just take a breath. Now that you know your dog is just worried about you, that they're reacting to your stress, not admitting to a crime, how might that change the very first thing you do when you walk through that door? It's definitely something worth thinking about.